Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
Now here's Paul. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Houston, and the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That is his first foul of the game. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Crawford, no one around him. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Crawford's got 6 points.
Coach Scott Brooks of the Thunder, he's brought great stability to this organization. A lot of talent on this roster, but doesn't always fit in terms of their offensive flow. So the Thunder like to keep it pretty simple with their X's and O's.
Here's Paul. Following the score by Serge Ibaka.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
It's Westbrook with the drive. Can't hit from in close. And Scott Brooks, even when the Thunder were really a young team, was pretty open to getting input from his players, and they liked it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's a collaborative style. And really a credit to Scott Brooks that he's secure enough with himself to allow his players to have that input. Engaging his players and keeping them invested. It's not easy for coaches to do when they're expected to always be in control and have the answers. He's got some great team leaders, too, so it's a nice fit for that collaborative style.
Beyond the arc. Rebound by the Clippers. Hawes got his third rebound tonight.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
Durant for 3. Paul grabs the board. Clippers leading by 5. Redick for 3. And Roberson pulls it down.
This guy's a good three-point shooter, but that was probably from a little bit too far.
Yeah, not what I would call working to get the best shot either.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Here's Crawford, following the score by Serge Ibaka.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Shot's good by Durant.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here, coming into this having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
Well, that one was a very physical game, and it played right into their hands. You know, a lot of their points came at the foul line, Clark.
Yeah, and it also led to a lot of foul trouble for some of the key guys they were up against. So don't forget about that part of it either.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers.
You know, the NBA is a talent league, and it's hard to win in the NBA without superstar talent. And the Thunder are fortunate to have 2 superstars in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Those 2 give them a chance to win no matter who they're facing up against or where they're playing.
Jones, no luck. And the foul against Hedo Turkoglu. That's his first foul. Oklahoma City's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Jackson misses. The Clippers in the lead. 43 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Matt Barnes really a good glue guy. He rebounds, defends. He's gotten better with his outside shot, and he can really run the lane. And he's always had a toughness and a fearlessness that I think a lot of coaches love.
And you look at advanced plus-minus measurements, Matt Barnes rates very well.
Not surprised by that, Kevin. He brings so much energy at both ends of the floor. He does a lot of those little intangible things that don't always show up on the stat sheet.
Jones with it, picked up by Collison. Jones kicks to Rivers. Over to the wing, 6 on the shot clock. A 3 from Barnes. Great D that time from Collison. It's stolen by Jones. And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game. How it's been going for Los Angeles.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
Watch out!
Wow, that was unbelievable.
Look at
How
that.
about that?
Look at that. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, thank you, Kevin. As you know, Russell Westbrook, one of the most competitive guys you'll meet. He looks as though he is angry on the court, and quite often he is. As Kevin Durant has said, anger could be good and bad, but it's on the good side for Russ. He doesn't like anybody he is playing against. He does a great job every single game of playing with fire and with force. Guys?
He's something else, Doris. Thanks. The shot's good from Paul.
And he answers right back with a three of his own.
Well, you can see it. They're getting into it a bit. Little mano-mano here. One-upsmanship taking place.
Another lead change. How many of these are we going to have?
I don't know, Steve, but the momentum of this game has certainly swung like a pendulum.
Pass to Crawford. Puts up a three. Jordan dishes to Paul. Now here's Reddick. He's guarded closely. Crawford missing again.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those two in the first quarter.
Westbrook passes to Ibaka. And that one is stuffed right through.
With that reverse jam, the fans got a little extra show there.
That one definitely had something, you're right, extra on it.
That was one of those 3 or 4 plays that you see every night in an NBA game that just leaves you in awe.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
And Kevin, they played such terrific defense in that game. It took a lot of pressure off them at the other end of the court.
Yeah, and you can't just pick 1 or 2 players out who stood out defensively. There was plenty of credit to go around.
Durant wide open. He fires. Good. Nice assist from Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 7th assist here tonight. Westbrook against Paul. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. They need this. That drops. Paul's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for Los Angeles.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
Here's Roberson looking for his first basket still in this one. Wilkins kicks to Ibaka and stolen by Jordan. Crawford drives in and he uses both hands to jam it in.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
If you just look at the numbers, you are not seeing the real impact of Kendrick Perkins. I mean, he is just this mountain at the rim as a protector of the paint. And it really makes it hard for opponents to get easy shots because of his presence.
The Thunder with the lead. Outside Westbrook. Here's Roberson. Buries it from three-point range. Roberson's got himself on the board with 3 there.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, if you just looked at assists as the measuring stick, they've been by far the better team.
Crawford outside. The Thunder pull it in.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
And count it. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And that bucket adds to what's been a big differential in points in the paint between these two teams.
Defensively, the intensity just hasn't been there. They've got to pick up the pace.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Glenn Davis is checked in for Hawes. Barnes comes in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Austin Rivers in for Paul. And there's the call on Matt Barnes. That's his first foul. Los Angeles making a switch here. Turkoglu's checked in. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. Jackson's checked in. Rivers with it. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Dishes it to Barnes. Out to the right wing. Los Angeles with another miss. Oklahoma City leading by 7 and out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. Already it's February. Hard to believe. Let's see how the West is matching up. You look at the Clippers. They're trying to get in the playoffs here. If they stay the course, they will. And, of course, there's the Thunder. 6.5 games behind them.
Seeing where the Clippers are, they've just sort of hung around. I mean, they're not among the elite teams, but they're not that far off the pace either.
No, I think they're satisfied, Clark, with where they are right now because they're in decent position, as they move forward. And this is all about just surviving the marathon in the NBA. Such a long season.
Jackson kicks to Waiters. Davis with the double team. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Morrow dishes to Waiters. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good.
Well, this last season was the Clippers' 30th in Los Angeles, and for a team that's long played in the Lakers' shadow, for the second season in a row, the Clippers were the best team in L.A.
And for the Clippers, in their 30 years in L.A., folks, only 6 times have they finished the regular season with a better winning percentage than the Lakers. Man, it's been domination by the Lakers out there in L.A. land. So Clipper fans are hoping that this is a sign of things to come going forward for their team, the Clippers.
Los Angeles with another miss.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Hey, Kevin. Well, Coach Doc Rivers certainly hasn't minced words since joining the Clippers. He's held each player accountable and defined roles. He told DeAndre Jordan he wouldn't run any plays at him, that he just wanted him to focus on defense. Jordan said, Doc knows how to reach people. There are egos on every team, and he knows how to control all of that. It's honesty. Refreshing, gentlemen.
Champion with the Celtics. He's one of the best coaches in the league. Thanks, Doris. And guys, for the Clippers, acquiring coach Doc Rivers from the Celtics in exchange for a draft pick. In Boston, he'd been the second longest tenured coach in the league after Greg. Popovich.
But rather than rebuild, I think he wanted to go for another ring in L.A. He's got a lot of authority, final say on personnel decisions. So Doc has really put his stamp on this team.
Barnes can't get it to go.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
Well, they've done a lot of things right, but I agree with you, Clark. Their rebounding is right there at the top of the
Here's
list.
Turkoglu, and he bangs it home with one hand.
What a smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
The Thunder leading by 8. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
Well, he's got to get everybody on the same page. I mean, that's the reason for this timeout. And if that happens, I think they can improve and start playing better.
It's a coach's job to always try to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of the opponent and to look for that extra edge if you can. And I think he feels like he might have seen one.
And here is Durant. Passes it to Lamb. With 1 on the clock. And no good trying to get that one. And
Kevin, you obviously...
second half just about to get going here. What a game we're seeing from Kevin Durant.
I like that he didn't force anything in that first half. His decision-making was really flawless.
That being the case, Steve, I think they want him to be more assertive in the second half. Look to take more shots. Be a little more shot hungry, even the tough ones.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments.
Durant doing all sorts of things. He has 14 points, and those 4 3-pointers he's hit have helped him too.
Well, they'd be in a much different position in this game if he wasn't burying those long balls.
CP3 at point with Redick there, the backcourt. Spencer Hawes out there with Jordan. And it's Crawford at the small forward. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers.